Let's get it, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome in. It's the Wake Up Crew, Ray G, joined as always by my man Jay Rich for some NBA prop plays over on Prize Picks for this Thursday, October the 20th, 2022 NBA slate. Jay, I think we only have two games on the docket tonight. We've got the Philadelphia 76ers versus the Milwaukee Bucks, and then the Lakers versus the Clippers. Quick recap of the plays that we discussed on the channel yesterday. We went 3 for 2, three hits. 2 misses yesterday. All 3 plays by me hit. Jay, your 2 plays did not hit. We talked Zion over 5.5 rebounds. I'm just not worried about the minutes. The dude is athletic as hell. That's just way too low. We'll probably never see that again. We also, Tyrese Halliburton. Jay, I know you liked that play yesterday. His points and assists, just a monster. With no Brogdon there, he's very good. Tyrese Halliburton, we will be going back to him moving forward, as well as Franz Wagner. And I told you, man, like he and I think the big takeaway, man, he and Banchero look great. Like I want both of those guys moving forward. You're talking about an offense where he looked good. The rookie looked good, 25-5, first rookie to do that since LeBron James on opening day. Orlando's got a young team. I think both of those players will be in play. Clint Capella's rebounds. What happened with that one, Jay?
The process was there. The backup center, Onyeka Iguanu, I forget how to say his name exactly. He also had 9 rebounds. Clint Capella had 7. They just split minutes, man. This is unfortunately, I hope Capella could be around the 30-minute range. He didn't get there. So unfortunately, Capella did not hit. And then Jalen Green, he was outshined by the rookie. Unfortunately, he shot 11 threes, man. Jabari Smith, 11 threes.
Yes.
Which, again, a guy that I think we will need to look for, because if he's going to be taking 11 threes a game, he's going to be having games where he hits 3, hits 4. So, Jalen Green, we'll see what happens. He needs to take more assertiveness in the offense. But if Jabari Smith is playing that well, and he did play well yesterday, then we may not see as much usage from Jalen Green so far this season. But we are back on it today.
Smith's rebounds were at 5.5, and I told you that before we went on the show. I was like, man, I like his rebounds at 5.5. I think he had 7, got a couple late. But yes, we definitely need, if he's going to be chucking 8, 9, 10, 11 3-pointers, then we may need to be looking at Jabari Smith moving forward. But we got the model. The model is up, Jay. Looks awesome. There's fantasy score in there. Only 2 games on, so we're going to give you we've got one consensus top play, and then we'll talk about a couple of others. So let's get into it right now.
The high-flying action, take a step back and relax. It's time to count that money, the NBA props. No look any further. You know what time it is. Presented by Prize Picks, NBA props. Let's
count that money, man. All right, Jay, let's pull up Prize Picks, the Prize Picks board, and let's talk about a consensus top play for both of us. And we're going to the Milwaukee game, and we're talking about Giannis. We are looking at his rebounds and his assists. Now, we know with the Bucks right now, there's no Chris Middleton. Also, no Pat Connaughton. Giannis will be initiating this offense from start to finish. Philadelphia looked kind of lost versus Boston in game 1. I think Giannis is going to have a monster game. And inside of our model, Jay, I mean, it's Giannis at the top of everything. Giannis rebounds, Giannis points and assists, Giannis fantasy score. I mean, he's got the top. He and Drew Holiday have the top fantasy score projection in our model, which factors in a lot of, it's all of the playoffs, right? We have no data right now for this current season. But right now, let's talk a little bit more about this 17.5 rebounds and assist number for Giannis.
Yeah, so I do like this one a lot, right? And like you mentioned, it was one of the only ones that stood out to me right away, especially when it comes to the Prize Picks board. Giannis has averaged 15.2 rebounds per game versus Philadelphia since the 2019-20 season, playing 9 games in which he's never had less than 11 rebounds. So right there, you have a baseline of about 11, 12 rebounds for Giannis. And then on top of that, in road games in Philadelphia, he's averaged 14.8 rebounds and 5.5 assists. So that's 20.3 rebounds plus assists. And then that number goes even higher when you talk about games he plays at home. You talked about Drew Holiday being there. That's pretty much it. Giannis and Drew will initiate the offense. A lot of people are on the over 5.5 assists. I don't know if Prize Picks ever put that number out, but when you talk about he's at 12 rebounds on Prize Picks, which I still do like because, like I mentioned, he's going over 14 every game on the road in Philly. It's the opening game of the season. Giannis is going to want to make a statement, in my opinion. I think that in their first game, Giannis will take full control of this offense, like you mentioned, and he's going to go over in this one. I do like this play a lot, Ray. It was your play, but definitely it's one that we both found that it popped the most, probably anything we found on the board so far. But the other one I want to go to is actually in the absence of Chris Middleton, I think does make this play a little bit better. And I'm talking about Tobias Harris over 14.5 points. So Tobias Harris scored 19 and 22 points versus Milwaukee last year. He scored 15 points in 22 of his first 23 home games last year and hit over 14.5 at a 70% clip in all of their home games. So you talk about a guy who did score 18 in the opener. That was a game where Tyrese Maxey, Joel Embiid, and James Harden all scored 20 points. So yes, he's a bit of a lesser option, but he can still score points even when the other guys get the job done. I think in the absence of Middleton, that takes another good defender off the perimeter. He may see some Bobby Portis, but he's a guy who can stretch the floor. And you saw him being left out there a little bit. No one's really guarding him in that Boston game. People forget about Tobias Harris a lot. He does a lot more damage in the first half, but in my opinion, I think he can easily go over this number. I think it will be a high-scoring game. And after scoring 18 in the opener, I think he can do it again, getting over 14.5 in this one. How do you feel about it, Ray?
I do like that. At first I was a little, not going to lie, I don't know about that one, but with no Middleton, with no Connaughton, they're going to need another scorer on there because I do believe Giannis is just going to do work. I don't mind it at all. It's about even on the books. And just to go to Giannis's, looking at Giannis's rebounds and assists on the books, we're seeing this. I think some places have it at 18.5, Jay, for Giannis.
It's probably moved already
Rebounds
because his
and
boards
assists.
are going up
Let's
too.
see, 18.5, minus 145 on Caesars, MGM minus 135, juice to the over. So I like both of these numbers, like keeping it real. I think both of these are in play. I'm going to rock with both of them. But if I were going to take one off, it would be Tobias. And if I were going to do that, it would be for Anthony Davis. I know we both were kind of talking about Anthony Davis before the show, his points. He scored 27 versus Golden State. And watching that Laker game, that first quarter, while LeBron really didn't do a lot, is they were trying to initiate the offense through Anthony Davis. He got his looks early and often. So for me, Jay, what I do like is Anthony Davis's first half points at 12.5 to drop 13 in the first quarter, in the first half. LeBron probably taking over a little bit later. I think it's just going to be him and the Anthony Davis show versus the Clippers. I'm not really worried about Zubac. I don't know who else they're going to throw down there to really deal with AD. I like this number a lot for Anthony Davis at 12.5. So I will lock this in as a core play for me. Anthony Davis first half, 12.5 points. You could look at his fantasy score as well. If you had to go with the fantasy score or the points, Jay, where would you lean? And if you look at the fantasy score, I mean, I know it's going back to preseason, but 30, 31, 34, 20. I actually kind of like this a little better than the points, Jay, for the first half. Not going to lie to you. I kind of like this one a little bit more. And in the model, Anthony Davis's fantasy score was very high up as well. Where are you at with AD tonight?
So I'm looking right now at his game log versus Zubac since he joined the Lakers. These are the points he's put up: 25, 24, 30, 34, 18, and then 4 when he got injured one time, and then 27 again. So you see he's scoring well over 24, 25 points a game with ceilings of 30, 34 in some of these games. So I'm definitely with you. I think the points is the way I would lean.
Okay.
I want to go after the rebounds because, again, like you mentioned, against Zubac, he still has some big rebound games in him, but Russ is getting rebounds. We know LeBron's going to get rebounds, and then we'll see. This really has been a two-headed monster. You want to talk about a team who both their top 2 stars are in the top 26 in usage so far after game 1. LeBron James and Anthony Davis are in there. They're getting a ton of work. And like you mentioned, most of it for Anthony Davis has come in the first half. So I do like that play quite a bit. The problem for me really is just to your point about the full game, he kind of tails off. You don't know if you want to go after the full game. So I probably would go first half, but the usage is definitely encouraging. And especially Russell Westbrook, Ray, 104th in usage in the NBA right now after obviously only one game.
One game.
But we expect to see that to be a lot higher. If they're going to be running mostly through LeBron and through AD, then those are the props you want to target in on PrizePicks. So I do like that play quite a bit.
So that's how we're going to do it. Whoever out of Jay and I, whoever's bets hit the most the night before, that'll be the individual that gets to add the additional play. Yesterday, Jay added the additional play with Clint Capella. I threw a Halliburton out there. But we're going to go with Anthony Davis. I do like this number a lot. First half, it's the Clippers' first game. I don't know what to expect from LAC. I have no clue, right? maybe they're a little rusty. There's some more rebound opportunities there for Anthony Davis. You get Pat, some random players, Marcus Morris driving to the basket, Reggie Jackson, some blocks there for AD. So I do like his first half fantasy score of 23.5. So that's what we're rolling with today. Giannis over 17.5 rebounds and assists. Tobias Harris over 14.5 points. Anthony Davis over 23.5 fantasy score. We're locking those in as our core plays for tonight. So as always, take what you like, leave what you don't like. If you don't like any of them, leave them all there. We don't make you pay for picks. We just walk you through our process, share our data, and all we ask that you do is hit the thumbs up button, subscribe, like the content, comment below. Let us know what else you've seen out there in these NBA streets for tonight, what else you're playing, how you feel about these picks. As always, if you tail, give PrizePicks hell, and if we fail, do not bail. We'll be back with more picks. We got the NFL tonight, Thursday night football game, Arizona versus New Orleans, college football picks for Saturday, and then, of course, the NFL on Sunday, and more NBA because it's full swing now. So
it never ends.
It never ends. We appreciate y'all being here. We appreciate every thumbs up button, subscription, like, all of that stuff. Well, good luck and good night. We out. Peace.